wrestling. It's going to be a chilly night of wrestling tonight. Our main event features Chainsaw. With her sister Angelica Dante in her corner, we can only hope chaos can be contained. Will the dark side of Chainsaw overcome the light of Australia's Princess Aussie? We'll find out tonight as it's our main event.
Making her way to the ring from New Orleans, Louisiana, BK Rhythm!
BK Rhythm making her way to the ring. Tonight she faces Keta Rush, and as I understand it, David, Keta Rush not too happy about BK's rapping as of late. She finds it a little intimidating, a little bullying.
Well, listen, BK Rhythm is possibly a bully with that rapping because that's what she means to do, intimidate her opponents. And Keta Rush, of course, as we all know, is the founder of the Bully Buster Foundation. She helps kids across the nation learn about and deal with bullying. And I know you're sensitive to that also, AJ.
Look, I definitely have a thing against bullies. You gotta put them in their place, but the meaner BK gets, the more I like her.
And her opponent from Los Angeles, California, Keta Rush!
Here she is, the Bully Buster herself, Keta Rush. Fans, this is David McLean at ringside. On my left, the man that knows 1,000 holds, Stephen Dickey. And on my right, the lady, the face that changed ladies' professional wrestling, in my opinion. She did it single-handedly, and she is a dynamo. She is AJ Mendez.
Thank you, David. I think it's everyone's opinion. It should be everyone's opinion. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, this is going to be a good matchup. And I want to find out if Keta Rush, who's up acknowledging her adoring fans, is going to be thrown off by this rap.
All right, pipe down, everybody.
They don't like it. They know what's coming.
I won my last match. We don't need to waste time. I'm gonna finish this fast. Y'all don't deserve a rhyme.
Oh, we don't even get a rhyme tonight, AJ.
I mean, I like her more and more every week. She's getting ruthless. But I do feel for Keta. She knows that words are powerful.
Keta went right into an MMA hold. She's going after the knee immediately. Keta Rush, an MMA fighter.
She's gonna try to teach her a lesson.
Referee, she made her break.
Referee Paige Prinzavali breaking the hold here. Keta Rush had that heel hook locked in on BK Rhythm. Keta Rush looking for a tap and a submission early in this one.
Again, going in for a leg scissor hold.
Got the body scissors locked in.
Asking the fans if they'd like to see her do a little whirly bird in the ring. Has that ever happened to you, AJ, where you've been turned and tossed in the ring? You don't know where you are?
I've definitely been ragdolled a lot where I didn't know what state I was in.
Just like that?
Just like that.
What's that do to the head?
You kind of can't, you lose your equilibrium. It's hard to stand up. It's hard to know where the corners are, where the ropes are, where you are, what state you're in, what your mother's name is. You kind of forget everything.
So it's a good technique by Keta Rush here, fans, as you can tell. But she was smart enough to put that left ankle on the bottom rope and break the hold, AJ.
She found her way, and you got to believe that it might throw off Keta too.
But she does look a bit dizzy, you're right. Pulling Keta in, but the hit wasn't good because she was a little dazed. Another hit. I don't know if they're full force yet.
Well, the good thing is that this entire crowd is in Keta's corner. I don't know if there is a more popular WoW superhero other than Keta, but I've never heard the crowd louder.
Well, what a gorgeous drop kick by Keta Rush there as BK Rhythm pops out before there could be a pin. There's one thing for sure about Keta Rush. She is the fastest WoW superhero in WoW. 440-yard dash, a quarter-of-a-mile race. She is the record holder in that. I think she did a 47.5 seconds in the 40-yard dash, and the record, fans, I think is around 44 seconds. So she is fast. Right now, she'll need all the speed and the technology because BK Rhythm is going for the 1-2. Keta pops out right there. BK Rhythm A great wrestler and a great rapper jams Keta Rush's head into that top turnbuckle. Now she goes in with that right hook right to the chest. Keta catches the right kick.
There you go.
Down goes BK Rhythm. Another kick by Keta Rush. A drop kick.
That's that MMA background coming into play. She knows how to dodge a kick.
Keta's got the momentum, but you can see Keta's limping now. She's been the aggressive one the whole time, but something happened to that left leg. I just saw the limp.
That was like a modified chin buster.
Uh-oh, abdominal stretch coming up here. Abdominal stretch.
BK Rhythm going for the abdominal stretch here. Keta Rush in a bad way.
Doing a little mocking of Chainsaw there with that little move up and down on the midsection. And Keta trying to bust out with that left elbow. Hip toss. Keta now to the ropes. Another drop kick by Keta Rush. Keta Rush is delivering tonight. Keta into the ropes. Up she goes. Another nice kickoff. Keta Rush is delivering with those feet tonight.
Keta can fly. But it's not enough to put BK down. The crowd is so firmly behind Keta. They love her. She can do no wrong in their eyes. And you gotta believe it really just helps her adrenaline.
Oh no, AJ, she tripped off that rope. She went for a high-flying maneuver, and she paid the price by slipping.
BK saw it coming. She dodged out of the way as well.
BK Rhythm taking advantage of it. Twisting and turning, Keta Rush goes down.
Here is your winner, BK Rhythm! Introducing first, accompanied by Exodus and Ice Cold, from the Australian Outback, Genesis!
Genesis, of course, fans, is a member of Team Exile. And behind her is her original partner, Exodus, and their new friend, finding solidarity with their group of being exiled throughout life, the very cold, Ice Cold. Boy, they know how to move those nunchucks.
Acclaimed martial artists, very accomplished in their martial arts resumes there, adding to the intimidation factor to their already impressive in-ring repertoire. Then, of course, Ice Cold. We've seen her story documented over the weeks, and wow, she comes from a very disciplined background, and she seems to fit in perfectly.
Now, with the change-up, with the shake-up in this team, in Genesis, who is the leader now? Are they sharing leadership roles? Do they see each other as equals? Or has Exodus taken over?
Well, what I want to know, AJ, is can you play with those nunchucks like that?
I mean, I definitely had a pair when I was a kid. I almost took an eye out. So no, not that skilled.
And her opponent from St. Paul, Minnesota, Kandi Krush!
David, AJ, I've got to ask you, what do you think about what we saw earlier with Kandi Krush and Princess Aussie? That beautiful moment they shared in the gym earlier. Princess Aussie and Kandi Krush bonding over their love of boxing, professional wrestling. And dare I say, I think we almost saw Princess Aussie maybe think about stepping away from professional wrestling.
Yes, Steven, we certainly did. Aussie and Kandi Krush have struck up a friendship. And look at Kandi Krush saying, let's go. That's her calling card.
Referee Ben Scheinberg has to gain control in this one with Exile on the outside there. Kandi Krush ready to go. Genesis not taking too kindly to the fact that these fans are not behind her. Genesis and Kandi Krush locking up in the center of the ring. Both of these two accomplished strikers in their own right. Genesis with that martial arts background. Kandi Krush from the world of boxing. Genesis has that wrist lock locked in, wrenching on Kandi Krush's arm. I've said it before, you can't punch somebody if your arm is useless. And Kandi Krush taking a page out of Genesis' book.
twisting maneuver. Genesis going over, and look how quick she put the foot on the rope. Breaking it, Ben Scheinberg. Genesis is experienced. She had the training of Malaya Hasaka, a great veteran of professional wrestling. She and her partner Exodus learned the hard way. Scrubbing the floors, putting up the ring, tying the ropes, sweeping over all the sweat, doing the push-ups and the drills, everything the hard way to make it here in WOW Women of Wrestling. Now they're on their own.
Kandi Krush with a drop toe hold, drops Genesis. She went for a strike. Genesis had it well scouted, flipping Kandi Krush. Kandi Krush back to her feet. Genesis ducking in the ropes. That's a tactic she definitely learned from Malaya Hasaka.
You got that right, Steven. Now, AJ, did you ever use that tactic, like hit an opponent and then move quickly out of the ring so they couldn't hit you back?
Never on purpose. Sometimes you take a powder, you need to take a break, you need to take a breath, you need a moment to yourself. It's not about, being squirrely at all.
Okay.
So you're saying you need a brief intermission, AJ?
A brief intermission, a little me time, There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. You know what? Self-care is very important.
It's like I was trying to say before, if Princess Aussie retired or stepped away from wrestling, I would be heartbroken. Do you think that Kandi Krush has gotten to talk to her, has gotten to make her reconsider?
I certainly hope so. I can't imagine what WOW would be like without Princess Aussie. You've said it before, AJ. Princess Aussie has become a mainstay, a staple of WOW Women of Wrestling. Without her, it would almost feel incomplete.
And maybe it's one of those things where you feel like you've plateaued.
Ice cold, grabbing the ankle. Ben Scheinberg going out there. More and ice cold, and Genesis takes advantage of it. And now a big leg drop on top of Kandi Krush.
Now into that modified triangle choke. She's got to watch it. She's got to watch it. That could be a choke.
She's got the knee in there, but Krush blocking it with the chin. So that leg lock is not as effective as it might be if she was able to center into the thighs.
Kick out by Kandi Krush. Wise maneuver by Genesis. She drives the air out of the throat with that triangle choke, and then she rolls her over for a pin. That's just using that energy, using that wind that she's got left, just making her exercise all of that.
The crowd trying to get behind Kandi Krush. Kandi Krush having her face massaged, but it's not as nice as going to the spa.
Oh, and there's Exodus. Exodus jamming Kandi Krush into the top turnbuckle.
She's had a little facial and a little eye massage.
I don't see it that way, David. Genesis taking advantage of the interference from the outside by Exodus, but Kandi Krush.
There's that boxer coming out in her. Look who's got the ankles.
Look at that.
Both Exodus and Ice Cold took her ankles and swept her right off of her feet. Kandi Krush trying to fight back, but she's been thrown off.
Oh no, Genesis has Kandi Krush in the full Nelson. We've seen this before.
Over the third rope, leading down. She's looking at us, AJ. She's calling you out too.
I don't want any part of that. No, thank you.
Throwing Kandi Krush to the mat. Genesis using those long legs to her advantage, choking Kandi Krush in the ropes, then flinging her back into the center of the ring. That's where you win the matches.
That's a nice kick right to the shoulder blades.
Almost like a buzzsaw kick to the shoulder.
Kandi is used to everybody kind of ganging up on her, and sometimes that's a compliment, right? Sometimes that's because people know they can't beat you on your own, or they see that your light is shining bright.
That's how you take down the animal at the top of the food chain. It's almost a gang, a pack mentality, and Exile personifies that perfectly. Kandi Krush back in Genesis into the corner, fighting back in this one. Genesis had that straight jacket submission maneuver locked in, but Kandi Krush fought out of it.
They're going back and forth, AJ, back and forth.
Kandi Krush with the clothesline into the corner.
When it is a fair fight, it is hard to beat Kandi Krush.
These two, like I said in the beginning, very accomplished strikers in their own right. We're seeing that here. Wonderful clothesline. Kandi Krush flying across the ring. Went for a spinning kick.
Big miss with that big flying boot. And there's the punch.
The discus elbow. Dropping Genesis. Kandi Krush, what's she thinking here? She has her up.
Oh, that was an uppercut. She took her up and then dropped her right into the uppercut. Now Exodus on the outside, trying to get into the action, and the boot by Genesis. Genesis missing the boot.
Kandi Krush has Genesis up. What's she thinking here? Oh no, there it is. She went for a sleeper into a schoolboy. 1,
action is going fast and furious in here.
We can barely keep up with it here at the table. Kandi Krush blocking the strike.
Who do you think has the advantage, AJ?
Well, like Steven said, this is what they do. They're strikers, but Kandi, she is setting her up.
2. Kick out by Genesis. I thought that was it.
Kandi likes to finish with that Superman punch, so I think that she is trying to soften her up so she can get up to that top rope.
That's the name of the game. Soften your opponent, weaken your opponent. But Genesis is not staying down for the count. Kandi Krush, elbow.
Up she goes.
What's she thinking? KO Krush.
The punch right off the rope!
1, 2, 3.
3 times is the charm!
Here is your winner, Kandi Krush!
Kandi.
Making their way to the ring from New Orleans, Louisiana, and the Dark Side, Siren, the Voodoo Doll, and Holidead!
Yeah, I'm horrified.
They're both here. You know, sometimes they're on their own, and I can maybe handle that, but they're both together right now. I'm not okay.
Nope, not okay.
Not okay.
Not comfortable with this.
Can somebody call my mother?
I'll protect you, AJ. I'll protect you.
Siren the Voodoo Doll taking back control of the dark side, as she says. She and Holidead back in in-ring action together, back in the tag team division, trying to assert their dominance through their dark-sided shenanigans. Let's call it what it is.
Well, you know where Holidead enjoys having lunch during the afternoon? She prepares it and takes it to the cemetery.
It is outdoors.
Fresh air.
And their opponents from the DMV and India, California, Foxxy Fierce and Chantilly Chella!
You gotta love the beat. These two certainly do. Chantilly Chella, Foxxy Fierce, tag team action. And I got a funny feeling this is all business tonight.
Referee Mark Harris going to be our official in this contest.
We didn't get to try the capes on tonight, AJ.
I'm so sorry. I know it breaks your heart to not catch the cape.
It does. I thought that was a ritual. They broke the ritual.
Ringing the bell. This match is underway.
Test of strength coming up.
A 4-way test of strength.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Foxxy and Chantilly. Double Irish whip into the corner. Foxxy leapfrog over her tag team partner.
That is some trust and communication right there.
Foxxy and Chantilly with stereo drop kicks.
Hey, look at that. Chantilly Chella learning a few moves from Foxxy.
Chantilly and Foxxy went up, having the same thing in mind, but Siren and Holidead had it well scouted. Double sunset flip. I thought that would have been it. Referee Mark Harris needs to regain control in this one. These two teams just going at it here.
They are in sync. They're becoming quite the tag team. I love their energy. The crowd is into it. But there's going to be a moment when the dancing maybe leads to a mistake.
Absolutely right, AJ.
They can't dance their way to victory.
Holidead didn't even let it get to a 1 count. Foxxy with a drop kick. Holidead is down. Foxxy and Chantilly, you mentioned it earlier, it's an evenly matched contest between these two teams now.
It certainly is, because Angelica Dante's not out here like it was with Chainsaw. And I might make mention of this. At ringside tonight, coming in from Washington, D.C. to watch her sister, at ringside, standing on the barricades, is Foxxy Fierce's sister. Foxxy Fierce's sister is here at ringside. She flew in, and I just found out she was a Super Division I volleyball player. She's here tonight. Look at that from Chantilly, Chella, Holidead in a bit of a daze. Chantilly rushing her, knee to the chest.
Chantilly with the Irish whip. Holidead reverses it. Chantilly stops, back elbow, stopping Holidead in her tracks. Chantilly goes up. Beautiful Hurricane Rana. Yo, David, you mentioned Foxxy's sister. Holidead kicks out. Foxxy's sister in the audience right now, so you can say with her athletic background, it runs in the family.
No doubt about it. In fact, I asked Foxxy, is your sister a better athlete than you? And she smiled and said, yes, she is.
Aw, does that mean she's coming to WOW?
Huh?
Is she gonna come to WOW? That'd be a tag team I'd want to see.
I don't know. You know what? That's something to discuss later on.
AJ, that might be a conversation you'd want to have here while you take your break with Holidead and Siren in the ring.
I'm gonna try to scout her. Let's see what I can do.
Holidead slamming Chantilly into the top turnbuckle. Holidead Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Clothesline smashing Chantilly Chella. The wind driven right out of her opponent. Holidead hoists Chantilly up. Sidewalk slam.
That's one way to get her to stop dancing. Just squash her like a boat.
Can't dance if you're horizontal. Holidead frustrated with the count of 2 there.
What if you're doing the worm?
I don't think you're horizontal. You're just all over the place with the worm. That defies the law of gravity.
I've been trying to get you to dance. Can you do the worm? Can you do the worm?
I can maybe do the worm.
Holidead has Chantilly up.
Wow.
Fireman's carry, pure power. That's what Holidead brings to the ring. Siren the Voodoo Doll tagged in. What's she thinking here?
Oh, my!
Senton! Chantilly's down. Siren into the cover. Kick out.
How do you kick out of that series of maneuvers? She's all heart, Chantilly. She's tough as nails. I mean, she seems like a tiny little thing because she can fly around and she's got all this energy, but she's tough. It's hard to really pin her down.
Yo, the fans, they have a great time when Chantilly comes out here. They dance, they sing along, they have a good time. But really, everybody forgets and everybody underestimates the fact that Chantilly is an absolute beast in the ring. She flies around. You never know what you can expect from her. She's completely unpredictable, but that's what she thrives on, unpredictability and chaos, but in a good way.
Yeah, this is the bad kind of chaos for her, but I will say she's one of the best that WOW has. She's definitely, I would argue, the best high flyer WOW has.
And when we were going over match notes here in the beginning of the show, I noticed that Chantilly and Foxxy, Holidead, Siren the Voodoo Doll, they've all crossed paths several times. Chantilly and Foxxy definitely wanted this match, with Siren the Voodoo Doll stepping back into the ring, taking back control of her situation and her tag team with Holidead.
Nice kick by Chantilly up high over the shoulders of the Voodoo Doll, and it took her down.
Chantilly and Foxxy definitely wanted this match. They wanted to prove themselves in a fair 2-on-2 fight, and that's what we're getting.
Voodoo Dick! Foxxy down with the drop kick after the lariat hit to Holidead.
Gorgeous drop kick by Foxxy Fierce, meeting of the minds. Siren and Holidead don't know what day it is, but I don't think they knew it before that either. Foxxy goes up, flying cross body. Holidead powers her off.
That was smart. She knew that Siren was still in the ring. She did not leave her back.
Chantilly and Foxxy double teaming Siren the Voodoo Doll here, taking her down. What do they have in mind? Holidead disrupting the maneuver.
Oh my! Did you see that? Foxxy Fierce was flying over the ropes and into the, not the front row, but onto the floor.
The Voodoo Driver.
She's been thrown into the top barricade, and we've got a pinfall.
Look at Holidead mocking Foxy's sister. Here are your winners, Siren the Voodoo Doll and Holidead. Well, fans, it's time for your main event. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, accompanied by Angelica Dante from Kingsland, Texas, Chainsaw!
Ever since Chainsaw's little sister Angelica Dante has emerged, starting with the House of Horror, In the big LA Comic-Con event, we've seen a new chainsaw.
Guys, there are faces on Chainsaw's apron. There are faces.
They represent the faces of Chainsaw's victims. All those that have wronged her and Angelica Dante.
Do they represent them, or are they actual skin?
That is something we need to take up with the authorities, but for now, it's a representation. It's symbolic.
I ain't no snitch, you know what I mean?
I've never seen her in the locker room, Chainsaw, so I have no idea.
I think that's because she hides in, like, the boiler room.
In the bowels of the arena.
Yeah.
Look at that! Chainsaw unveiled by her baby sister, Angelica Dante, who helped her when she was a kid, bringing food to her out to the outhouse when her father would discipline her and lock her up.
And her opponent from the beautiful country down under, Princess Aussie!
Australia's own.
And earlier in this episode, we saw Princess Aussie come out to make the save for Kandi Krush. And then earlier before that, we saw the beautiful bond that they formed in the gym. When we thought Princess Aussie may be thinking about breaking away from the world of professional wrestling. She said it before, we've said it before. She hasn't been able to get through that glass ceiling. She needs to make that next step in her career. And perhaps this friendship, this bond with Kandi Krush could take her to the next level.
Fans, we're coming back in moments with the main event. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for more of WOW. The main event starts in a moment. Welcome back, fans. If you're just joining us, we're about to start the main event.
Chainsaw in there against Princess Aussie. And here we go.
Referee Jeff McGowan signaling for the bell as Chainsaw and Princess Aussie square off in this one. This is not going to be a catch-as-catch-can classic. Billy Robinson will not be enjoying this one. Princess Aussie rolling through. Kick to the legs. Princess Aussie ducking the clothesline, going into the ropes. Chainsaw went for the boot. Princess Aussie up into the rear naked choke. Modified sleeper, getting the body scissors locked in too.
And that's the right idea. Aussie has to pull into her bag of tricks. She is the most well-rounded wrestler that WOW has, and she needs to show that here because she's going to chip away at Chainsaw. She's going to come from her at all angles if she wants to survive this.
You have a few favorites in WOW, AJ, but you've always spoken highly of Aussie. You've always thought she's got the ingredients to make it all the way.
I think that she's championship material. She's just at that stage when you feel like you've been doing the same thing over and over again. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. So it's insanity at some point, right? You've got to try something new. She needs an evolution. She needs a rebirth of some sort to get that fire in her again.
Well, what I was concerned about is like Kandi Krush, who lost a little of her fire for a while, if indeed she was going to lose her fire. Thinking of walking away, was she going to be able to get back into this ring and get her head around the ring and get back into the game? Right now, she's in the game, but she's in trouble. The heavier, the dominant Chainsaw, right now just tearing away at her.
She's literally just mangling Princess Aussie's face. She went for the nose, the mouth, now she's going for the ears.
She's trying to rip that ear off and put it onto Ray.
Right, this isn't just a submission hold, this is just pure torture.
Well, fans, you can see it in some of these shots. That mark on the right leg of Chainsaw is a tattoo of her actual chainsaw. She's not allowed to bring it into the arena. The fire marshal will not allow it. And I'm so happy. Can you imagine having a chainsaw in here? Anything could happen here.
I would do commentary through Zoom if that was happening.
I mean, all jokes aside, Chainsaw doesn't need a weapon. She doesn't need a chainsaw. She is a weapon. We just saw her manhandle Princess Aussie and toss her halfway across the ring. The pure size and strength advantage alone makes Chainsaw one of the most dangerous competitors we've ever seen. Then you factor in Angelica Dante on the outside. You've got the brains, you've got the bronze. What more do you need?
Well, Chainsaw took out Keta Rush some weeks ago, choking her out, and she's got a similar opponent, and now Princess Aussie, like Keta's a high flyer.
And And AJ, I think you perfectly summed it up earlier. Princess Aussie needs to use her speed advantage to win this one. That's what's going to be the difference maker. She obviously doesn't have the size advantage or the strength advantage, but speed kills. It's a popular phrase for a reason, and that's what Princess Aussie needs to do. Pull down to that bag of tricks and win this one.
Did you see that uppercut? I think she might have learned that from her friend Kandi Krush.
Yeah, implementing more strikes, I like it. We saw her in the gym practicing her boxing. Princess Aussie said it herself, boxing was one of her first loves, one of her first combat sports she ever participated in, and now we're getting to see use more of those strikes in the ring.
I hope that she learned from Keta's match against Chainsaw and how to not get stuck in that position. Chainsaw's savage. She will choke you out.
I mean, history is the best teacher. Chainsaw flinging Princess Aussie into the corner.
Her little sister on the outside, Angelica Dante, giving encouragement to Chainsaw. She goes in but catches a boot into the jaw from Princess Aussie. Another high kick to the jaw. Another semi-one-legged drop kick.
That's what she's got to do. She's got to take whatever opportunity she can. Use Chainsaw's momentum against her. Use her size against her.
Chainsaw had her up in the fireman's carry. The cutter from down under. Cutter from down under.
She can't pause. She can't pause. She's got to go for win right now.
Well, that cutter usually signifies that's the prelude to the end. She goes to the top of that frog splash, but Angelica Dante's on the outside, and there we see the difference maker coming into play here.
Angelica, you see it right there, grabbing the foot of Aussie, throwing her off before she had the momentum to get to the third rope and leap with that fabulous frog splash.
That momentary distraction may have been all Chainsaw needed to get back in this one. Now we see her. She's tripped up Princess Aussie. Princess Aussie sitting on the turnbuckle. Chainsaw's got her by the throat.
There it is.
Chainsaw's got her by the throat.
There it is.
She's got to scratch and claw her way out of this. She's got to get dirty.
But Chainsaw needs to break the choke. It's an illegal choke. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. You can't win by a choke. You got to break the choke. That's a disqualification.
Choking.